from the FM service of the Blaze Communications Network Incorporated. Good evening and welcome to Blaze News Point. 45 minutes of news, views, analysis from in and out of Liberia. Today is Monday, July 7, 2025, and my name is Deborah Mace. On top of this presentation, in the headlines, government of Liberia announces openings of the Liberia Trade and Investment Office in Philadelphia, United States, as government seeks bilateral commerce and business collaboration between the two nations. Mosura County Senator Eprandaros Delon discloses the Liberian Senate plans to amend of the Decent Work Act. Director General of the Liberia Broadcasting System, Eugene Falcon, reveals groundbreaking ceremony of a new radio and television substation in Sakopie, Nimba County, and away from Liberia. At least 10 people have been killed in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, while protesting according to a state-run human rights body. These plus the news bulletin voices making the news sports are all packaged in today's presentation, but first is the news bulletin with Meso Mendy. Good evening, Meso.
Good evening, Deborah, and good evening to everyone. The governor of Liberia has announced the official opening of the Liberia Trade and Investment Office in Philadelphia, a dynamic new gateway for bilateral commerce and business collaboration between the Republic of Liberia and the United States. According to a release issued in Monrovia Monday, July 7, the launch allows with President Joseph Boycott working face it. The United States mark entry to partners and regulatory guidelines. And sustainable tourism. The release further that by positioning the office in Philadelphia, historically a crucial of American commerce and now a raising global logistics hub, Liberia signals a determination to deepen trade ties with U.S. businesses, large and small, coast to coast. The two-day business conference in Philadelphia will bring together policymakers, Fortune 500 executives, diaspora entrepreneurs, investors, and development finance leaders to accelerate mutually beneficial trade and investment. Montserrat County Senator Darius DeLone has disclosed that the plenary of the Liberian Senate is considering the amendment of the Decent Work Act. Speaking Monday, July 7, in an interview in Monrovia, Senator DeLone said the Senate intends to review the compensation of retired employees, though stating his office is engaging with his colleague to review the minimum wage. The Montserrat County Senator added that it is time that the legislature review the minimum wage and take a decision to make current day reality. Meanwhile, Senator DeLone has lauded the House of Representatives and President Joseph Boyka for the concurrence and signing into hand bill the act creating the National Food Assistance Agency. The Director General of Liberia Broadcasting System, Eugene Fagan, has announced a groundbreaking ceremony of a new radio and television substation in Seklepie in Nema County. In an interview on Monday, Fagan highlighted the importance of the media role in keeping the Liberian people informed as mandated by Article 15 of the Liberian Constitution, and disclosed that LBS has successfully secured 1 acre of land through negotiation for the construction of a substation, indicating that it will greatly benefit the people of Nema County. The LBS director emphasized that it is in line with President Boyka's mandate and LBS is committed to fulfilling it. Meanwhile, Fagan expressed concern about the challenges faced by the state broadcaster due to delayed funding from the government, thus revealing that the situation has caused difficulties in retaining staff. The Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Unique Harvest Engineering and Construction Incorporated has urged the Governor of Liberia and other private institutions to give contracts to qualified Liberians and organized firms. Speaking to journalists during the dedication ceremony of their newly office, Prince Peabody said it is imperative to give contracts to Liberian companies with the required manpower, suitable workspace, logistics, and equipment to do the work. Peabody also expressed that stress the government is giving foreigners and aliens contracts for getting to know that Liberians contractors are equipped to handle these contracts. Meanwhile, speaking to newsmen during the ceremony, the chief executive officer of the Institute SOFA said the company, which is the hub for innovation, comprises of qualified technicians, engineers, administrators, among others. The CEO Domat for the name construction of roads, buildings, and real estate and granting of construction equipment, adding that integrated is their primary goal at the unique Harvest Engineering and Construction Incorporated. A popular businessman of Bond County, Van Brown, is calling on the government of Liberia to carry on an investigation into the proliferation of illegal scam businesses in the country. Speaking to journalists in Banka Monday, July 7, Van disclosed that he has observed the proliferation of illegal business institutions in the country that aim at collecting money from citizens in the name of traveling opportunities, and added that so many people have been victimized by these illegal scammers, something in term as worrisome and troubling for striving Liberians. Vanning, who has experienced continuous engagement with QNet and other scamming institutions, is urging the government to summon all illegal businesses in the country, noting that the government has total jurisdiction over businesses operating in Liberia. The University of Liberia President Lida Mapan has highlighted overstaffing as one of the major challenges affecting the university. That Mapan made the disclosure over the weekend when she addressed a town hall event known by the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiatives. She disclosed that upon taking office, and Voida received US 33.4 million from the national government for 2025, noting that she had requested US 41 million to the national budget to begin repositioning the state, that's the state university, to be among top universities in the region. That Mapan also described the result of a United States Agency for International Development from Liberia as a setback, noting that the agency supported key programs such as public health and forestry education at the university. She at the same time said she is aware of your protest culture, something she believes is common among universities worldwide, and warning that all student action must remain within the bounds of the student handbook. The UU president disclosed our administration is distributing enough printed and electronic copies of the student handbook to ensure all students have access along with student ID cards for each enrolled individuals. The special aide to former President George Weah Sekou Carrasco has accused the Unity Party of using lies to win the 2023 presidential and general elections. Speaking at the dedication of the bridge in Magui County during the weekend, Carrasco disclosed that all that is happening on the Bakar Kone administration is of no surprise to him, adding that the CDC will return 2029 to serve the country. He cautioned residents of both Jatu Taud and Mandingo Kota communities to count on him for any development projects in the county, urging them not to allow politics to divide them as Magibians. And away from Liberia, at least 10 people have been killed in protests, according to a state-run human rights body, the latest in a wave of anti-government rallies that began last year. Police opened fire on demonstrators in area on that's on Dato Aaron Sekuku, a medic at Eagle Nursing Home in Kagamen. The Oscars of Nairobi told the BBC that two bodies has been taken to the facility and had died from gunshot wounds. He said hundreds of protesters had gathered outside his hospital, demanding to take away the bodies. This demonstration marked the 35th anniversary of the historic Sabah Sabah, meaning 77 protests of 7 Judah 1990, which launched Kenya push for anti-party democracy. Well, Deborah, that's the shape of the news bulletin. Is now back to you for the continuation of Bliss News Point.
Many thanks to Menso Mendy there for the news bulletin. The news bulletin's regular feature here on Blaze News Point. But just in case you just tuning in, you're listening to 45 minutes of news, views, analysis from in and out of Liberia stories. We topping this Evelyn, on our presentation, Government of Liberia announces the opening of the Liberia Trade Investment Office in Philadelphia, United States, as government seeks bilateral commerce and business collaboration between the two nations. Moswell County Senator Darius Delon discloses the Liberian Senate plans to amend for the Decent Work Act. Director General of the Liberia Broadcasting System, Eugene Falcon, reveals a groundbreaking ceremony of a new radio and television substation in Sakopie, Nima County, and at least 10 people have been killed in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, while protesting, according to a state-run human rights body. Coming up, voices making the news and sports are still entitled. Stay tuned. Take a break to be right back. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining today's first development. The Director General of the Liberia Broadcasting System, Eugene Falcon, has announced a groundbreaking ceremony of a new radio and television station in Sakopie, Nimba County. In an interview on Monday, Falcon highlighted the importance of the media's role in keeping the Liberian people informed, as mandated by Article 15 of the Liberian Constitution. He disclosed that LBS has successfully secured 1 acre of land through negotiations from the construction of the substation, indicating that it will greatly benefit the people of Nimba County. We were able to travel to Ganta, meet with some stakeholders there. From Ganta, we went on to Sakopie, where we've now, through negotiations, were able to acquire a piece of land, 1 acre of land, for the construction of a new substation in Sakopie for the people of Nimba that will cater to both television and radio. Okay. So by the time everything is concluded this week, by next weekend, we should be breaking grounds for the construction of a new substation in Sakopie. I want to thank the mayor of Sakopie and all of his councilmen who quickly were able to receive us, and you wouldn't believe we had a great time in Sakopie, and the people of Nimba will finally benefit from a brand new substation to be constructed from scratch to cater to television and radio. Then left Sakopie and traveled all the way to Tapita, where we were able to render assistance to our sister stations there and give some repair work. And as I speak to you, today or tomorrow, we will purchase a 9,000 BTU and send it up to Tapita to cater to their equipments. So we are executing the mandate of the president, and nothing will stand in the way of that. It belongs to the Liberian people, and Banga and its citizens, or Bong County and its citizens, should expect nothing less other than us taking over that facility, installing our equipments, providing the services that the people of Bong require, as well as fulfilling our mandate as enshrined in Article 15, which is the right of the Liberian people to be informed by their government. We are reviewing all options. Whatever it takes to make sure that we execute that mandate will be used, meaning all options are on the table. As I speak to you, my team is getting ready right now. We will proceed to Kitmount. We are getting ready to proceed to Kitmount County, where similar activities is expected to take place. This government is not playing. This government is not joking. If the people give us the 1 acre of land that we are asking for in Kitmount this week, plans will get on the way for the construction of a brand new substation in Kitmount County. Meanwhile, Falcon expressed concerns about the challenges faced by the state broadcaster due to delayed funding from the government, thus revealing that the situation has caused difficulties in retaining contractors and could harm the institution. This week, I will be confronting the CSA boss. Fortunate that in 2024 budget, we're given a certain amount of money to hire people and to pay them. And that did not happen. In 2025, we're given the same amount of money, and it's still not happening 6 months down the road. I was forced to let go almost 30 contractors. It was painful, and it is going to hurt us. And if nothing is done by the end of this month,
I will have to let go another 40 contractors, and that is going to hurt us. So I will hope that the CFA boss will be willing to receive me in the next 2 days so as to use the money given to us by the government for the purpose intended, and that is to hire those people to ensure efficiency and effectiveness at the state-run media institution. You just listened to the voice of the Director General at the Liberia Broadcasting System, Eugene Facon. University of Liberia President Lydia Mapayan has highlighted overstarving as one of the major challenges affecting the university. Dr. Mapayan made a disclosure over the weekend when she addressed a town hall event known by the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiatives. She disclosed that upon taking office, the university received 33.4 million United States dollars from the national budget for 2025, noting that she had requested US 41 million through the national budget to begin repositioning the state university to be among top university in the region.
So Q3, the one we're in now, July to September, I'm calling this one getting down to brass tacks. I've been meeting with all the department chairs. I've been starting a participatory budget exercise. One of the things I figured out when they showed me the UL budget when I first got here is that the number of our budget, which right now what we got from the government is about 33.4 million. The budget we originally requested was just over 41 million. But neither of those numbers reflects the real cost of running the University of Liberia. And we need to know what that real cost is. So I started a participatory budget exercise where my special assistant is going around and asking every single department and every single administrative unit, what are your minimum, medium, and maximum budget projections for 2026? And then we're going to add it up so that we know the real cost of doing business at UL. Another thing that you may not know is that with our current budget, something like 77 to 90% of it, depending on which denominator you use, goes to personnel costs. That leaves only 10 or 20% of it for other things. And as you well know, people say, why fix the building? Why we don't have chairs? Why blah, 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 blah? Because all the money's going to salaries. That's why. Why is all the money going to salaries? Because we have a lot of employees, probably too many, more than we need. We never take people off the payroll. And we also have people on the payroll that need to be cleaned up. People who have quit, abandoned the job, died, etc. We got to clean it up. So we're in the process of doing that so that we can make more room available for the operating budget and start fixing some things. All right, so that's a big thing. All right, eventually I'm going to have to meet with the legislature again and make a case for a bigger budget for 2025. 2026. But I want to go to them with a real number that actually reflects the cost of running the University of Liberia. So a few other things that are planned for the quarter that we're in now. I mentioned the strategic planning in earnest. I'm just going to throw some words at you since I don't have a lot of time and I can't tell you what I mean by all of them. But some strategic planning things I'm going to be looking at: energy, electricity, and power, bathrooms, internet, infrastructure.
She at the same time said is aware of the UL's protest culture, something she believes is common among universities worldwide, and warning that all student actions must remain within the bounds of the student handbook. The US president disclosed that her administration is distributing enough printed and electronic copies of the student handbook to all students have for to ensure all students have access along with student ID cards for each enrolled individual.
More PhDs, creating a research and innovation culture, and starting to use our federal land to build a university city. We're also going to revise and update the student handbook so that we have a new version ready for the new students in August. We're going to get the ID cards back in circulation, fix Lux FM studios. I also want you to know that I have created a new office called the Office of Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, because what I learned is that the National Commission on Higher Education social inclusion policy actually requires every higher ed institution like Liberia to have disability and gender officers. We had a disability officer, but we didn't have a gender officer, so I just hired somebody. And I'm going to be going on a trip to the States starting next week for a couple weeks. I'm going to attend the Harvard University New Presidents Seminar, which is an opportunity for me to do some, and I'm going to also visit the board of the trustees for donations for education in Liberia, which holds our endowment, and talk with them about how we can increase that endowment. So quickly, Q4, last thing, and I'll stop. We're going to, many of you may know, next year, 2026, is UL 75th anniversary year. That is a milestone anniversary for us. We are going to celebrate all year long. Plan and really kick up the fundraising, and then I've mentioned we're going to have a December commencement, and we're going to have another one in May to get those graduates who have been waiting so long out the door. But there's something I want you to know. Some of you saw some kind of fake news this week about me thinking about resigning, and me being in some kind of dispute with some political people. I'm going to tell you right now, I've got no intention going anywhere.
That's the voice of the University of Liberia, Dr. Lydia Mapaya. Massachusetts County Senator Ibrahim Darrows DeLong has disclosed that the plenary of the Liberian Senate is considering the amendment of the Decent Work Act. Speaking Monday, July 7, in an interview in Monrovia, Senator DeLong said the Senate intends to review the compensation of retired employees, thus stating that his office is engaging with his colleagues to review the minimum wage. The Massachusetts County Senator added that it is time that the legislature reviews the minimum wage and take a decision to meet current day reality.
We are engaged with concluding on the issue of the work permit with the Labor Ministry, which were part of our discussion. Last week we had NASCO and the Labor Minister who were talking about possible amendment to the Decent Work Act, specifically when it comes to the issue of compensation for retired employees. And I am again, while we're pushing for the work permit issue for jobs for Liberia, we are engaging with the Senate so that we can talk about the minimum wage. While we're looking at this Decent Work Act, it's time to review the minimum wage so that we can act in keeping with current reality. The minimum wage. It was part of the public hearing on Thursday last week in the Senate. Public hearing meaning the door is open and the media is there. People don't follow some of these things that we do at the Senate, so that they are not informed. But everything we do at the Senate, it is open. We are doing everything to reform and modernize the Liberian Senate, and hopefully it can also transform to the House of Representatives.
Meanwhile, Senator DeLong has lauded the House of Representatives and President Joseph Boakai for the concurrence and signing into bill the act creating the National Food Assistance Agency.
2020, July Deba, I drafted, sponsored the bill, the National Food Assistance Authority. I drafted that bill. Normally, I don't like RR, so my office, we did that, and sponsored it on the floor of the Senate. After several months of debate, public hearing, including bringing in the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Finance, and other public entities connected thereto, the bill was passed and then engrossed to the House. When one House initiates a bill or a bill comes from one House to the other, it is known as engrossed bill. When the other House concurs, then we enroll the bill to the motion for approval. So the bill was passed, and you needed a standing government institution with the technical know-how and the logistical support ready at any. And you can't have that kind of institution standing if it is not existing by law, because every time it's renewed for a particular purpose, after that event, it goes into dormant. So President Turbo had a vision. It was on the National Food Feeding Program that the institution, government used to feed public school. Then I remember President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf activated that institution by another executive order during the Ebola. Then President Weah also activated the executive order to cater to COVID-19. Now, then I said, if we will activate this institution, then this institution must be the institution of government to manage the COVID-19 stimulus package with the distribution. Then the argument was, this institution does not have logistics truck, and all of these things. The manpower to do nationwide distribution for accountability, this institution lacks it. So because of this emergency, we will allow World Food Program to do the distribution, the purchase and the distribution because they already have the logistics and the technical know-how. And that is how we thought that this institution should have perpetual legal.
That's the voice of Mosurado County Senator Ibrahim Darrow Stallone. The Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Unique Harvest Engineering and Construction Incorporated has urged the government of Liberia and other private institutions to give contracts to qualify Liberians in organized firms. Speaking to journalists during a dedication ceremony of the newly office, Prince Peabody said it is imperative to give contracts to Liberian companies with the required manpower, suitable workspace, logistics, and equipment to do the work. Peabody also stressed that the government is giving foreigners and aliens contracts, forgetting to know that Liberian contractors are equipped to handle these contracts.
We don't want to urge the government, urge the other private institutions that let contracts be given to people that are ready, organized firm, people that are having a space to operate in, people who having the required manpower and logistics and equipment to do this work. We are young Liberians, but we are very, very talented and skillful. Over the years, we have seen outside of being dominating the construction industry in this country, and they will still subcontract huge part of this work to Liberian contractors to do them. And at the end, those prices go back to those foreigners or those aliens. And the public or the government will forget that we Liberians, we are equipped enough, we are inclined enough to undertake such projects. Another reason that we funded Unique Harvest and Engineering and Construction Incorporated was that to hire and help other locals Liberian technicians. We have a lot of young people that are in the construction industry have learned over the years. But working in other institutions, they are paid little, they are overlooked, they are not taken care of well. So those guys are our brother, they are our sisters. We actually fund the institution to help them to also elevate their skills, to improve what they know, and to also make sure that they get that just benefit of what they will be doing. And we know that in this country, contracts are usually given to some subcontractor contractors that are not qualified, that are not they don't have the requirement to run an institution. We may be young, but we are experiencing a few being a running construction project for the past 6 to 8 years. And we have other senior local workers that we work with. We get people of age, people that have been around. So one thing we do, we build a team of different workforce, of different technicians from all backgrounds.
Meanwhile, speaking to newsmen during the ceremony, the chief executive officer of the institution, Prince Doman, extended appreciation to his team for the work so far. Doman further names construction of roads, buildings, real estate, and granting of construction equipment, adding that integrity is the primary goal at the Unique Harvest Engineering and Construction Incorporated.
This space is a hub of innovations. We have qualified technicians, we have qualified engineers, we have qualified administrators and finance personnel. We are involved with so many activities that includes construction of roads, buildings, real estates, renting of construction equipment. What set us apart from other engineering firms in Liberia is we know the difference between what belongs to us and what belongs to the project. In some firms, if you are awarded a contract, some of them will not manage the project cost. They will feel that the cash is too much. They will be taking the cash, using it on themselves. But in Unique Harvest, integrity comes first. Even the technicians you find on site, we trust them. That's why attach responsibility to them. It's not about Peabody and I, it's about the team. Every level that we have reached today, it was because of teamwork. So we say thank you to the team We say thank you to everybody who are taking upon their time to come to the office today for this unique program.
You just listen to the Chief Executive Officer and the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Unique Harvest Engineering and Construction Incorporated, Prince Bodid and Prince Doma. A special aid to the former president Pardon. The special aide to former President George Weah Sekou Kalasco has accused the Unity Party of using lies to win the 2023 presidential and general elections. Speaking at a dedication of a bridge in Margibi County during the weekend, Kalasco disclosed that all that is happening under the Boubacar Kun administration is of no surprise to him, adding that CDC will return 2029 to serve the country. He cautions residents of both Datua and Mandingo Quarter communities to count on him for any development projects in the county, urging them not to allow politics to divide them as Magibians.
Well, first, let me say glory be to God for giving us the opportunity to be here today. It's really, they say we're reading a shower of blessing, right? And we are happy to be here and dedicate and open this particular bridge that will allow people to move from one end to another. But before we go into that, Charles, my young brother said something. I was appointed by President Weah in his office 6 years ago. In 6 years now, when President Weah appointed me in his office, he did not appoint me because I come from Haiti. He appointed me because of my relationship with him, because he knows the kind of person I am. He knows my heart. President Weah appointed me. I did not tell my back on my content my TV. My records are there. Always keep back to my content my TV to identify with my content people. The reason why I'm doing it because I value my people. Before people could cross that bridge, I saw children, school going children. I was struggling to cross. When I realized that, they can't cross. And to the town people, I said, thank you to the town people for standing by Arthur, by volunteering to help me in the process. You have sleepless women and everything to make sure that the bridge is constructed. I saw other women, all old people, in need that they really wanted it, but they were looking for opportunity for somebody to come and help them. The total amount of money that we use is around 16,500. I'm doing it because I want to give back to my people. I'm not doing it for political reasons. I'm doing it because I want to give back to my people. Because I value the people more. I see people saying, I can pass there. They preach not for initially we did it for pedestrian, but at least people now can use motorbike. You get a keke, you can pass on it. But how durable we make it to look like.
That's the voice of the special aide to the former president George Weah. They're speaking in Magibi County, Hiseku Kalasko. A popular businessman of Bond County, Vanny Brown, is calling on the government of Liberia to carry on an investigation into the proliferation of illegal scams businesses in the country. Speaking to journalists in Bangabong County on Monday, Vanny disclosed that he had observed that the proliferation of illegal business institutions in the country that aims to collect money from citizens in the name of traveling opportunities. He added that so many people have been victimized by these illegal scammers, something he termed as worrisome and troubling for starving Liberians.
I've been experiencing some business people in this country, that will come around and convince people about online marketing. And they do it different ways. They got different names. One of the famous names around here is the QNet. But for now, I think QNet going down because even on social media, we see some examples were made by the government, from state security, and I think the prosecution put the person put in jail. But I'm observing that QNet have been transformed into different organizations, and they got different programs that they are running in this country. And this program are helping our people. Nobody will come out. Say that being normal online marketing or you come in travel, let me put it that way. Some people come in travel to Canada, you come in travel to Australia. Those programs, we can't see people to put their hand up, even in Canada, even in Australia, to say it was this organization maybe to come to the place. Then we start believing it. So I just want to call the government attention. Liberia, the country, we are educated, but some things we are not educated to. So people can eat us quietly. The thing I'm saying here, I know people will comment. I know some people had opportunity to go on the radio to explain that story so other people can learn. The thing I'm saying here, other people now lose huge money. I had some friends that were doing mobile money business. When someone came and told them, say, hey, there's a job vacancy in Canada. We got an office in Monrovia. If you go to the office, you pay so a month, we're able to get to Canada, and for greener pasture, your business going to improve, you get money, and you say, we the Liberians know our problem. Almost 80%, 85% Liberians want to travel. So if you just tell Liberians travel, the next day they're ready to go. So they can do it, we are desperate, and we are doing it because of the lack of opportunity in this country for the youth. So you see many youth to be in the kind of activity. So I know friends, so my niece, even when it comes to QNet, they are lost. Plenty of people. So now you pay $900 for your own product or whatsoever. But the product, we not see anybody in the market to sell any QNet material. They call online marketing. We get our product, we get our market. You not see the market, but they encourage you that the market, when you pay the money, as soon as you start selling, you get the one. When you bring the other price, you get percentage. And the project using the Liberian in that, and people losing. So I'm saying the message to the government, to the legislature, they are our people. A message to them is, in your country, you can be here because cybersecurity, like somebody will do somebody and go to Ghana and go to Nigeria. What I'm speaking to, because they want, it is in the domain of the Liberian government. They working about how to get the end of this country and get false documents to fool our people, call on the government. So let national government come in to fast track, these people, let our lawmaker ask them what is going on. Because I see the trial to be complete like this.
That's the voice of a popular businessman of Bond County, Vanny Brown. They're calling on the government of Liberia to carry on an investigation into the illegal businesses in the country. Back to this story. The special aide to former President George Weah Sekou Carrasco has accused the Unity Party of using lies to win the 2023 presidential and general elections. Speaking at the dedication ceremony of a bridge in Maigibi County during the weekend, Carrasco disclosed that all that is happening under the Bakakun administration is of no surprise to him, adding that the CDC will return 2029 to serve the country.
They say Baka lie his way to power. The Unity Party lie their way to power. This are Calasco. And that's the reason why nothing Mr. Baka can do anymore that is strange to me. I don't want the president used to give me any little to go to work. So when they're talking about the person was hungry, I can just laugh. I say, y'all know the true definition of somebody that was hungry. Y'all know who was hungry. Because the man who's the president now, who served for 12 years, I was telling people, that let me say, when y'all listen to Henry Kosa, he said, they used to say the evil are learner, that let me say, for me, I know nothing. So let's hold together, let's keep working together. We should not allow politics to devour us in any means possible. We will keep working together. I can assure you that you can count on me and Joshua's son. The relationship between Joshua and myself is like, I don't know how to tell it, but very cordial because he took me as his son, and I respect that. So I will continue to work with him through our chairman and the leadership of IGB. So I'd like to say thank you so much for granting us the opportunity. Thank you to everybody under this ring who love their business, show you skill who brought his set here for us to play and make sure that the occasion. And thanks our musicians. Even though they will not perform the song, but we will organize a day. What will come here on the stadium? It will be a youth day where people will come. There are a lot of people who want to come. The like of CRC, you know, plenty of them want to come, but they will not come because of the rain. But we'll organize it and make sure they come. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
That's the voice of the special aide to former President George Weah Sekou Kalasko. With that development, this is how I would like to leave you on today's presentation of the program Place News Point. But before we go, a recap of the major stories. Government of Liberia announces the opening of the Liberia Trade and Investment Office in Philadelphia, United States, as government seeks bilateral commerce and business collaboration between the two nations. Most Rather County Senator Ibrahim Delon discloses to the Liberian Senate plans to amend of the Decent Work Act. The Director General of the Liberia Broadcasting System, Eugene Falcon, reveals the groundbreaking ceremony of a new radio and television substation in Sakopie, Nimba County, and at least 10 people have been killed in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, while protesting according to a state-run human rights. But many thanks to our reporters, correspondents, news editor, news director, for helping to make it today's place news or sources. Ms. Omendi brought you the news bulletin. Clifton Rennie sat and coordinated and brought you voices making the news. My name is Deborah Mays. I presented. Good evening and thanks for listening.